New Zealand and the world, welcome to the show. It's 9 o'clock here from Beachlands, Auckland, New Zealand, 2018. That's the postcode. And welcome to the program. It is Talkback with Thane and Sophia. Sophia, how you doing? Okay?
I'm doing well today, Thane. Thank you very much for asking. And how are you?
Fantastic. I haven't been better. It's been a glorious day for me. I've just been being myself, and I've been very good at it. I've enjoyed the whole day. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy, all in all. 2 thumbs up.
You sound like a pig in shit.
You know what? I feel like a wee piggy, a cooney, and a whole ton of shit. Absolutely.
He's happy.
Absolutely.
Good for you. You do your thing. You spread the link to the show out, and I'm going to discuss. Let's see if anyone's online and we can chat and just work through the day's news. It's depressing, and I'm on News Hub. Join me, why don't you? I put some eyeliner on today, guys. What do you think? I put it on in the morning. My 3-year-old walked in and went, "What the hell is that on your face?" Okay, she didn't use the hell word, but much of the rest of it was accurate. How is everyone? I can't see any comments coming in just yet. I'm assuming everyone's just logging on here. Take your time. Oh, hey, Douglas. So I'm just going through News Hub, and what's happening here? Questions growing over the Northland cases after the government website reveals negative test not required to cross borders. Okay, so how is that a thing? So I'm pretty sure that was definitely a thing. There are fresh questions whether either of the positive women who travelled to Northland had to produce negative test results when they crossed the border. It's possible they didn't because the official rules state you don't need one. Epidemiologist Michael Baker says there's so many holes in the system you could drive a truck through it. Jodie Clark, are you online? What does that mean for you? Are you applying and being denied your travel through that border lockdown? Do you have to provide a negative test? What are they asking you for? One of our listeners, Jodie, is having this just rigmarole time and time again, applying and being denied to go from her mum's house where she's helping, hey Dave, helping her mum, and she's trying to go home and visit her baby, and they won't let her go across the border. It's just insane. Real anger and frustration. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see what else is happening here. Government's making serious bank out of housing market. Economist. That sounds terrible and completely unfair. We actually have someone on the show tonight who has essentially gone, you know what, to hell with the housing market. Forget about it. I'm going to live in a bus.
Fabulous. Thank you very much for those news headlines, and really, what a nice way of padding it out. Really did bloody well. Hey, now let me move on. I want to bring in at this time our fact checker, everybody. So, New Zealand, please behold Benny the fact checker. Here he is. If you're new to the show, he checks the facts up and down the whole 1 hour, 30 minutes. Benny, welcome.
Mate, exciting times. Tuesday, 12th of October. Freaking hyped. We actually got a shipment of A4 paper come through today. Oh, freaking ream! So exciting times. I've got my Sharpie here. I've got the black one, the red, and the green. So I might even highlight facts, dangerous facts with the red,
dangerous
and also
facts.
Good ones, safe facts with the green.
God. Yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
This is terrible.
Why are you pulling up that terrible comment on there, Thane? I was just making faces about that. Hi, Adam. How are you? I want to know how your baby is. I want to know how you are and how your wife is and how everyone's doing in your bubble, because we miss you. We haven't seen your face in ages. We just see your name pop up. And I know you're seriously busy being a dad right now, but the show needs you. We've got to talk to you again.
Fantastic.
Hi,
Our
Mike.
guest is here, everybody. Let's go to our guest right now. Here we go. Amber, welcome to the show. How are you?
Kia ora. I am all good. How about you guys?
Pretty good, man. We're
Very well, thanks.
Chilling here in our little houses and, ready to put on a show for everyone. Now, I saw an article of somebody else's Facebook page that you had written an opinion piece, and it was titled Creative New Zealand Isn't Supporting Independent Artists During COVID. And I thought, what the hell? What is going on? So I wonder if you can give us the lowdown, just the top line on that story.
I can do my best. It's quite a big story. So Creative New Zealand is the main financer of of artists in New Zealand, and they fund anything from Auckland Theatre Company shows to more independent artist shows, which most people probably haven't heard of. And they have an issue with their the way that they're putting money around the place at the moment. So their CE is on quite a high rate, and the average artist wage is about 8 to 9 times less than that. So the article essentially was not so much putting the blame on him, but putting the blame on a system which allows that kind of thing to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the government give Creative New Zealand a whole lot of money, probably underfunded. Creative New Zealand pays 70 of their staff and a CEOs in the high 200s. And then what's left, they try and dish out to artists. But I hear the process on, signing up for some of that funding is kind of tricky for some people as well.
Yeah, so the application process to try and get money, you basically have to write a pitch and it gets assessed by, I believe it's 2 people. One person is a specialist in the thing that you have applied for. So if I apply for dance, one of the assessors will be a specialist in dance, and then there'll be a second assessor who is from another art background.
Right, okay.
And then it goes to a panel, and then it gets discussed more robustly, and it gets rated on a tier. I think it's green, orange, and red. So green is like a really good application, orange is okay, and red is bad. I think that's the color system. I could be wrong.
Wow.
Can you imagine getting a red one back here?
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be very exciting. But yeah, so they kind of assess it based on whether they think that why your project and what your project is good, and then your process, and then you have to do your budget for it. So you have to project how much you think it's going to cost, and then you apply for that specific amount that you think you need from them, and they can it's basically just a yay or nay. So they don't give you partial funding, they'll give you the amount you've applied for or nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much?
So they're not doing that through COVID, is that correct?
They are. But the last COVID lockdown that we had last year, they also had like a emergency package for artists who were struggling because a lot of artists are contractors. So what that means is that we have one job and then we have another job, but we don't have an employer or like a place of work. We are essentially our own boss. And because of the lockdowns, we can't do live gigs. We can't put dance shows on. We can't do theatre gigs. We can't do music gigs. And so everything's just stopped, which means we don't have any more income. And so ideally, because CNZ is supposed to be financing the art sector, they would be helping the independent artists and the other maybe contractors who have lost work. But currently, they haven't done a lot towards that. They've just kind of continued funding the projects that they're already investing in, and like maybe making a few more of the applications in the last round able to go ahead, but it's not focused on independent artists.
It's quite interesting too, because I remember when COVID first hit, there was a big sort of chat about this over in the States, And they were talking about, you know, how creatives were just kind of missing. I guess over there they don't have the same packages like wage subsidy and things like that. So just the creative industry was being completely blown apart. But you really don't see that happening in New Zealand. It's not loud, you know what I mean? Like everyone's quite quiet about it, and I don't know whether that's a New Zealand thing or whether we, you know, there's just so much other noise going on. But we're talking about people who might be set designers, stylists, lighting, right? We're talking about that sort of work as well as
the film industry has suffered heaps as well. I think probably the reason people don't talk about it is partially because of our history. Like if you look at the history of New Zealand, a lot of the colonial people who came over came from like poorer backgrounds in working class England and like Celtic kind of area. And then also you have the like Māori have been oppressed for hundreds of years, and so there's just a lot of our culture doesn't really talk about this stuff, whereas countries like South America, they have a lot of political discourse, which I think is good.
Yeah, a lot of mainstream media.
A whole other thing in and of itself we could get into there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I just wanted to say a lot of mainstream media being paid off by the government, right? And funding for journalists and what have you. And I wonder if that's a situation where if actors or artists go up against Creative New Zealand, they're just going to get the shit, you know, they might be denied for future proposals or funding. So why put your head up? We're going to be smashed down.
Well, it's also that's the power balance that exists. I'm from a dance background, and there's a understanding that if you speak up in a dance context, someone like whoever's in power might just go, well, there's 100 other people who will take this job, so just shut up. That's starting to shift luckily now, but it's still kind of there, or at least the behavior of not talking is there, and so abuse is happening without it necessarily intentionally happening.
Gotcha. Sam's here saying it's a bit of a painful process, but I've had a tour funding to help with costs. They repaid half of my costs for a 6-date tour.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow, that's pretty
That's
good.
really cool. Is that
being paid back though? Being paid back, that doesn't sound that cool. You still have to front it. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, that's, if you don't have the money, then you can't front it, then you can't do it. So,
I guess there's a lot of people in that particular boat as well with COVID. You know, it sort of wipes out any reserves you might have hanging around, you know, especially if you're going, you know, you've got contract work and then you're missing a couple of contracts. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
What about the government? Cipollone, reading your article, she just seems to be saying the same. We acknowledge there are people who are hurting at this time. We're all kind of hurting at the time, and we don't want to put a sticking plaster on it now. We want this to thrive. But they just seem that they're just words, eh? They just seem like a politician's words.
I think that's a big issue I have with a lot of politics in New Zealand is, and CNZ as an example of an organisation that is government funded partially. It's really important that we as the people make sure that they're actioning the things that they say they're doing. So with Cipollone, I know that there was a group of artists who went and gave feedback, and it seems to be, it was either that it was misunderstood or there hasn't been an outreach to the wider independent community from MCH, which is the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Heritage, which needs to happen, I think, because if they really want to be in touch with the people and a proper democratic government, then they should be talking to the everyday people and not necessarily the heads of organisations, because sometimes the heads of organisation don't have an idea of what is, what's kind of the like my experience or my friend's experience, where we live on like 22,000 a year or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But also with Cipollone, it's like, oh, should we give her health this time, or should we give her arts and culture and heritage? Oh yeah, let's go and do that. And like, she inherits it, really knows nothing about arts and culture. Maybe in her local, you know, with her culture, sure. But yeah, these people just inherit these portfolios and then just crack on with distributing the money in time before they're gonna.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works, how they get the positions there, but I'd like to think that there's a sense of empathy there, and if that's not part of what they're doing, then it's kind of sad that that's the way it is.
It is sad, and lean on the poor artists. We need your sculptures up in parks, and we need you to, at the opening of this, that, and the other, and we need you to go and drink some wine and cheese and watch your work stuff. But when you really need some cash to keep on going, it's like, we acknowledge you need cash. That's really good. And fingers crossed.
And I think the arts have been one of those things where people have always been really generous. There are people way back when who used to be absolutely wealthy who would be patrons of the arts, and it's always been a really highly respected creative group who should be looked after and who should be nurtured, because really ultimately they provide a lot of the finer things in life where you get to experience different emotions from someone else's hard work, and it just lifts your life so much, whether it's a sculpture like you're saying, Thane, or whether it's dance, or whether it's theatre, film, TV, this right here even, you think about how many touch points in your life you actually have the arts, reading a book, all of those things, it's all the arts. Music that you listen to, all of that stuff. When you start to lose those things, and even if you look at Auckland for an example, people are going, we're not feeling, Auckland's not a culturally, rich place at the moment, we don't feel that heaving kind of interesting vibe flowing through our city anymore. And people, I think that they miss that. And how can you have a rich kind of enjoyable life without these things? And it's okay to cut funding in certain places, but I think you really do start to miss these things. If you're not going to keep putting the money where your mouth is, people are going to really miss it.
Totally. Did any response from Creative New Zealand? When you splash Creative New Zealand in a headline, surely someone's going to contact someone and go, oh shit.
I haven't heard anything back, but I do have an application that's in process, so it'll be interesting to see if that gets affected by it or not.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm looking into Patreon, so if anyone wants to fund me, go ahead.
Share your link. Come back and share your link. A lot of people use Patreon over in the States, and they're having a pretty good run with it, especially for bloggers and things. I don't know if that's still the word for it. Is it blogging? Is it
like vloggers and bloggers and vloggers, and there's a lot more exclusive content, so there's a tier system which seems to work quite well, I think.
How did you get around writing an article for stuff? They seem pretty cool.
I worked for a union for 6 months, for the Performers Union, and learnt heaps doing that, and then tried to get RNZ to do a piece on it, because I thought it's kind of important that this kind of thing gets discussed, especially because it's so prominent right now, and a lot of my friends are struggling. So tried to get RNZ, then tried to send it to a couple of other places, and then Stuff got back to me and were like, yep, cool, we'll run the piece, which is great.
Oh, God.
That's awesome. And to make that effort on your own accord and to raise it is, kudos to you, because that takes a lot of initiative to decide to do something and then take the effort to, pitch it to a whole bunch of places until you're given a yes. It takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. I think for me it was just the motivation of seeing a lot of friends and colleagues really just not just financially impacted, but mentally, emotionally, just we don't have a future currently as artists. So I was like, well, it doesn't seem right that someone is getting so much money while we're still on this, or at the moment some people are on a lot less because there's no work, Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had the chat with like mum or dad, kind of like, Amber, it's time to get that law degree, love, or something? Or, just trying to talk you
No, luckily my parents are really supportive.
Right.
Mum's actually an artist herself as well. But have I had anyone? I've just had comments on the article being like, well, don't be an artist then, which everyone has a good response to that.
And I think it's kind of it's such an easy thing to say as well, we'll go and get another job or something. It's like people work so hard to become talented at what they do. It doesn't just pop in and out. Yeah, there you go. This guy's a real fucking asshole. He's putting artist. LOL, what a joke. Get a real job. Why don't you get the hell out of here, P-Wang?
Get out of here.
A rude human being. No, good on you. It takes real dedication, time, commitment to become talented in anything. And you shouldn't have to just throw it all away because,
Yeah, I think it's also just kind of an act of rebellion in a system that isn't working for people. Like an everyday worker nowadays, people have to work 50 hours a week just to make ends meet in Auckland.
Yeah.
And so, like, that is not a normal, that should never be a normal lifestyle for humans. It's only since the Industrial Revolution that things have been so severe. I mean, arguably there was times before that, but it's not how we're designed, and we haven't evolved to keep up with the way things are today. So we either need AI, which I'm in two minds about, or we need the system to change for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. And I think it's not even just the arts as well. I think when we're looking at in terms of funding, we're even seeing that it's sort of a bureaucratic, weird process that's going on, even with charities and stuff, for mental health and all of the stuff that was going on with Gumboot Friday. And, how much did they put in? We got how many extra acute beds? It's like 3 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm probably picking the wrong number there out of thin air. But again, how do you get that money on the ground when so much money is coming through and being dedicated from the government, and then the people running that are not actually making sure that it's getting to the right places because they're trusting organizations or whatever else, whatever funnel they have for that money, it just doesn't seem to be landing quite in the right place, which that is a real issue because that's real money and it's going somewhere else.
And the really bad thing about it, you're so right about Auckland. If you're not on over $100,000, you really don't have a life in Auckland. It's shocking. That is shocking. But if you want to eat out and go to stuff and take maybe Friday off or not work the weekend and pay rent and then operate a car and pay bills and then, you get parking tickets and then you got your phone on top of that. How do you live in Auckland? It's impossible.
Yeah, especially if you've got kids or like people, that are relying on you to support them. It's just insane at the moment. I think Auckland's one of the most expensive cities in the world.
Most definitely. It's
like in the top 10 or something.
Yeah, it is, for sure. Yeah. It does make you think, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I have put in the comment section, everybody, the link to jump on as well if you want to make a comment. And I'd love to see P-Wang come visit and look at these.
I would actually, comments. I just have to say, like, I would love a free handout.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Socialism is the way to go. Or communism.
Hayden Brown says Mr. and Mrs. Wang don't like art.
No,
they're not down for it.
That's all right. Yes. Each to their own, I say.
That's right. Yeah, well, exactly. Here on the Talkback with Thane and Sophia, we love art. So you're most welcome to join us here in the art-loving circle that is our show. This guy is pretty aggressive, so our apologies on our behalf.
Yeah,
being in our safe space.
Yeah, no worries. We've got Benny and Benny here. Welcome back, Benny. Yeah, we would probably never put that person live to air, but anyway.
Yeah, roger that. we have actually got a little bit of information come through about that that person in the chat. Professional troll, professional incel, lives in his mother's basement, contacting information. We have found out that he's using a stolen laptop, and he's also using his neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there you go. That sums him up perfectly. Thank you very much, Benny. Lovely. Well, thank you very much, Amber. What are you working on anyway? So you're a dancer. You're doing dance? What kind of art are you working on at the moment? If you're still doing that?
Well,
not a lot.
At the moment, I'm just trying to keep it together, to be honest.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit at home. I'm actually running a devising for digital spaces workshop on Thursday with some friends and
Very cool.
whoever wants to join. I have got it's a performance art dance work that's in the kind of early stages of research.
Okay.
Ideally for next year, but it's really hard to put anything in motion until we know a little bit more about what's going to happen
What
COVID
kind of
wise.
dance do you do?
Contemporary dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. My
That's so
daughter's
talented.
very
Wow.
into dance. Actually, all of them are very into dance. And we are having intense, there's Irish dancing, there's
Cool.
ballet,
hmm
there's interpretive dancing. It's a lot.
Have you got like a small kitchen or lounge or something that everyone's using? Yeah.
Yes,
Fun.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's really loud, and Irish dancing includes heeled shoes.
Oh
and
God.
skip 2 3 4 1 2 3 and skip and hop and
Shuffle.
ding
1, 2,
ling.
3,
Yeah.
shuffle back. Yeah.
Yeah. Has she got into the wigs yet?
No,
The-
not yet, because I will not allow the wig.
Oh, okay. One day.
Yeah.
You'll have fun with that
Luckily-
one.
Luckily, their teacher doesn't make them wear the wigs, and she does really cute outfits, which are not like whole hog, because those outfits are about $3,000.
hmm
It's insane.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
you go. You know, you got to buy the outfit if you're an artist. You got to pay up front for your $3,000 wig.
Yeah.
All these costs, you know.
Bloody nightmare. Bloody
Yeah.
nightmare.
Sure.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, good luck with everything. And if you can just, in the comment section, if you've got an invite, can you just pop it in the comment section for us? So just send a link. So that would be really good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes,
in the
just
chat.
Send
Yeah,
it
the
in
chat,
the
just
private
cut and
chat
paste.
as well. If you
Great.
want. Yeah.
Cool.
either the private or
Awesome.
just in the chat there. Cut and paste it in so we can all see it, and then we'll pop it up
Yeah.
for you.
Is
So
that
that'll be good.
socials is good?
Yeah, cool.
Right.
Excellent.
Cool.
Hey,
All right.
really nice talking to you, Amber. And how do you pronounce your last name, by the way?
The bougie way or the way everyone else pronounces it?
Oh, yeah. What? Give us the bougie way or whatever. Which way?
Liberte.
Oh, Liberte.
Liberte.
Liberte. Oh,
Wait.
sheesh.
It's French for freedom.
Fantastic.
Is that your real last name? Yes.
Great. How does everybody else say it?
Liberte.
Yeah, that's what I said. I did a little promo going, coming up, we got Amber Liberte.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
and
wasn't quite
Liberte.
sure.
It's easier to say. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right, then. Hey, all the best. Thank you very much for
Thank
joining us.
you.
Really appreciate your time.
Thanks.
If you're working on anything else, feel free to stop on by and pop on in.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Will
No
do.
worries.
All
See
right.
you soon. Nice talking to
See
you.
ya.
Okay, bye-bye. Wasn't she nice?
Absolutely. I love it. I love someone that just doesn't sit around complaining, actually goes and does something about it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Hey, Ben. What's happening?
It all checks out. Totally checks out. She is who she says she is. We've ran it through the system. I've got the evidence here. I didn't know how to say it either. I thought it was like Amber of Liberty. But Liberte, it is like liberty, freedom.
That's
yeah,
the one.
it is. That's a cool arty
And we need a
shot.
little bit
All
more
checks out.
freedom.
It
Which is
is
I'll
arty.
just scroll down the page a little bit and see if there's any.
Why haven't you
Anything.
logged in? What's the deal with that? You don't like Instagram, do you? It's so funny. I just couldn't get on board with Facebook again, and then I realised all the people on Facebook aren't really on board with Instagram. It's a really each to their own social thing, isn't
What
it?
about a little look-see at some of your dancing, mate?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, let's have a look. See. One of these videos must be
Top ones, I think. The top ones have got some dancing.
Okay. Let's start again. Oh, this one here.
Here we go.
Oh, I guess if I have to bloody log in.
Oh, Benny Max.
Oh, Lord. I hope you saved the password.
That's okay.
Zuckerberg's going to suck all my information.
Yeah.
Suckleberg.
No well, very good. Hey, looking ahead, everyone, and I just want to promo this now while we've got a sizable audience. Tomorrow on the show is going to be very exciting. Tomorrow, we've got a live performance by Sam Bartels. We've got Carl Steedman from Super Groove. He's been making some weird noises. He puts together the soundtracks for most of for some big movies. And we've got the Wizard of Christchurch joining us. So he's just got the boot from the Christchurch City Council, and he's angry as all hell.
It's a fucking crying shame. I'm pissed.
Yes. I need some maracas. That's what I need. So
that's cool.
Oh, there you go. So Amber's coming.
Yeah, there you go. Russell says, I thought the wizard had died. I didn't even know who the wizard was.
Oh, can we get some background on that?
Oh, the Wiz. Sorry. If you don't know who the wizard is, you're not living. But yeah, most certainly. I'll pull him up right away.
Yeah. I know Sam Bartels. He's got some good music, and I like his story. He also went and chased his dreams, and I like that. I like Super Groove as well, and I like weird sounds in movies. I'm in. I mean, I'm in anyway, aren't I? Because, it's half my show.
You got to be here anyway, yeah.
I am really interested. And also, I say it all the time, but I'm going to say it again. Thane, you are a Auckland wizard for show guests. I don't know how everyone. You do it. Thane does all of the guest rounding up every single day. That's and Ben and I just show up.
And do your magic, guys.
He's very well connected. I've actually pulled up the Wizard of New Zealand's Wikipedia page here. Born in 1932.
Adam,
believe it or not. He's a New Zealand educator, comedian, magician, and politician. He's also known by his short name, the Wizard.
Has he got a walking frame, or is that a ladder?
That's a ladder.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it does give the illusion of an old man sort of
it does, doesn't it?
Pushing ass down the street. But no, it's a ladder. He's quite the speaker, so I think that he's going to be an amazing orator for us to potentially get some real sort of brush up our own sort of speaking skills.
Absolutely.
Is he going to do some spells or what?
I don't see why not.
I think he will.
I think we need to dabble in the arts. Yeah. We should dabble in the black magic in a real way. And we should sort of, cast a whole stack of spells.
Yeah.
Money spells.
Yeah.
Also we're almost this Halloween vibe too, so it's nice to have a weird wizard in town, Hey, still to come, everybody. Acascia Steedman, she works at Western Springs Speedway, so she does a lot of the commentating and video stuff.
Love Speedway.
Yeah, she loves Speedway, so she's going to be joining us very shortly. If you're watching, Acascia, you can just jump in now if you like. And also Piper Lovell, that woman down there sitting politely. Piper can't afford a house in Hamilton, so she said, fuck this, I'm going to get into a van, and now she's experiencing van life. And I think van life in summer seems pretty good, but it's got to be, it's going to be a bit tough if you're living in a van, but how tough?
It would be hard with children. To live in a van.
You know what I saw? I think she actually lives not alone, but with a furry friend.
That's good. I think I'd feel a wee bit scared as a woman. I mean, probably even as a man, let's be honest, if I was living on my own and who's going to come a knocking, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be the DHL guy dropping off a package. It's going to be someone.
Yeah, and we were all those non-weird car parks that you can go to, after hours when you kind of do you settle in a New World or a Countdown or a Pack and Save?
You're not allowed to do that. What happens when you do need courier delivery?
Yeah, go to your mum's place. Okay, what have we got? 9:34, our guest is here, everyone. Acascia Steedman, how are you?
Kia ora. I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Very, very, very good.
Good.
Excellent.
We're excited to have you here. I like the Speedway. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been an amazing experience actually. They are a pretty incredible group of people. We're just waiting on the news to see if we can actually run this year. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh
Man.
man.
Everyone misses the Speedway now that it's gone, you know.
Except for the
special
people
time.
that live up the road.
Screw those people though. They've lived with it so long, you know. It's been here all my life. So I'm saying, hey, bring it back. So what? We're just waiting for COVID to finish, and then you'll be back in the business.
Yeah, we're hoping so. We at least will do a lot of the smaller series that are coming out. So there is some news on the social media pages about what those are going to look like. But up until we get further news from Auntie Cindy, we can't really do too much about what the full season is going to look like. I know that we're looking forward at least to all of this being over so we can get the internationals come back. We've really missed their presence over the last year or so.
I wonder if they're all pro Jacinda because, you know, they're a passionate bunch. When you invest that much money into your kit, your setup, your whole lifestyle, it's very easy to become obsessed with. And if you stop the Speedway people from doing what they love, they must be pushing back hard on the Labour Party.
Hey, look, I mean, that they'll give it the best nudge they possibly can to make sure the cars get back on the track this season. I know there's a lot being done behind the scenes to make sure that the community is going to be safe. And, you know, I think it'll be potentially a little bit of a different kind of look this year, depending on how Delta travels throughout the country. But, yeah, they are really giving it a good nudge to make sure that we can open those gates.
Adam says, when is the airport track due to open?
Yeah, so Collingdale's been an interesting sort of story, actually. I know that they were looking at putting Western Springs out near that airport. I personally think it would be a bit of an interesting story, putting, I don't know, something with a whole lot of lights and a whole lot of dust near something that has a whole lot of planes. It doesn't really seem to kind of match to me, but you know, we've been given a couple more years where we are, and I think it'd be a shame if we didn't get to our 100th year anniversary on site, which I think we're sitting at 92 years this year. So let's see.
Come on, welcome to the council. Seems Bay Park is the promoter's backup option. Is that true?
There's a lot of talk about, you know, what could happen. Absolutely. You know, depending on what happens with the rest of the country as well. We don't know, as we are already seeing, what's going to happen with this virus particularly. But I know, as I said, you know, they're putting all options on the table so that our boys can get out there and do as much racing as they can this summer.
Shit, this is the longest chat I've ever talked about Speedway in my life. Incredible. Yeah, I like the hot dogs. They're amazing.
Yeah, the hot dogs and pie stands are my favourite. They're great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what phase is Speedway counted as? Phase 3, or is it level
2?
What happens? When does that come?
That's the difficulty. I think, you know, last year when we were going through the different level changes, we saw that we were able to run sometimes at level 2, but then again depended on how many people we were allowed inside the stadiums. You know, if you've got a 50-person or 100-person limit, you know, there's often that many people just in the crew and safety teams alone. So actually being able to run with visibility to our really supportive fans. You know, that's quite difficult even at you know, 100 packs level 2 level. So yeah, we really are at the mercy of this at the moment.
Who else do you work with in the commentary box? Like, who else is on the team with Western Springs? What is it called? Western Springs Speedway Television or something? Western
Springs Speedway. So there's been a number of different media teams that have worked with that group over even in my time. I've been lucky enough to be on the team for 2 years now. We've had a couple of different people that have come in and done the live stream videos. And then in terms of commentary, that's typically sort of another group again. They typically get those people in based on more of their passion in the industry and what they sort of provide. There's, as far as I understand it, at least, there's no typical like one kind of company that runs all of those things.
Right, okay.
Thane, you'd be a good commentator, wouldn't you? What a great commentator voice.
I don't know. Maybe I could imitate one, but I don't really know. That you really need someone who's right across it. Do you know Steve the Marty? He does some kind of stuff like that, doesn't he? He's been on the show occasionally. Yep, Steve. And then Nick Brown. I used to work with Nick Brown.
Nick Brown is one of my favourite human beings. Yeah, he has taught me so much about Speedway, particularly when I started it a couple of years back. I knew a little bit, but until you really jump in behind the scenes, you can't know everything. So it's been fundamental.
And he gives you the room to be a really good broadcaster, and he's just so patient and just so bloody professional.
He absolutely is. Yeah, and what a voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Minty's a strong Speedway character. I don't know who that is.
Minty. Yeah, I mean, as we were sort of touching on before, Speedway does have some incredible community surrounding it. And, you'll often, the more people you talk to, come across more and more stories about, different people that have made Speedway something for them. Right down to, generations worth sitting at the same steps, or, families that have done, the hot dog stand for a really long time.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Now, you're not only limited to Speedway, Western Springs, you do other things. Did I say you're a festy photographer, and you've got a big job coming up? What's happening?
Yeah. So I've been pretty lucky throughout my career. I started more in the social media space. Started to build a wee company. Actually sold out of that earlier on this year, and have stepped out to do my own wee thing. Festival photography, that's definitely something that I get into. So I've got a company, full representation to my T-Rada tours. They do all the festival circuits, particularly around George FM, but big drum and bass people.
Totally. Yeah.
Yep,
George FM people like Speedway people, they bloody love their stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, surrounded myself by a group of bloody passionate people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's for sure. What a tribe you got going on there. And what else are you working on?
Yeah, so I think the most exciting thing for me at the moment has been my latest sort of acquisition. I'm working with a great company called Acascia. And actually, weirdly enough, something that Amber mentioned before in the AI space is actually something that I've started to have a little bit of a hand in. I know a lot of people haven't heard about, or maybe have heard about, but don't know much about the things called digital humans. I don't know if they're the scariest thing I've ever come across, or like next coolest accessory.
Yeah. I'm with you. I love it.
You got to slow it down for me. I feel like I'm a dinosaur here. What a digital human.
Yes, if you can imagine, like, you know how sometimes you have a character on a game and you interact with the character. It's a similar kind of concept, except you've got a digital person. They have very lifelike characteristics. And it's really exciting for me. I think Acascia is doing some fantastic work in its capabilities, but particularly for me when they joined up with Aria, the Kiwi voice. And I think, sort of matching it all in my head together, what could potentially happen in the likes of healthcare, particularly as it comes to like mental health and elderly care. And things like that. I think it's something that is some really exciting tech to work on. So, yeah, keeping me busy.
That's so cool, man. I was still working on an AI format to replace radio announcers, and just use your existing music library that you got on Spotify, and then you just pick a celebrity that you like, and they'll just talk to you and play your favorite tracks back to you.
Yeah, spot on. You can even create yourself as a digital twin now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So cool. What a great space to work in. I hope you make millions of dollars.
Thank you. I'm hoping so. One day.
yeah, absolutely. But everyone agrees AI is going to be the future, whether you like it or not. This machine learning is, it's the future. I love it.
Yeah, exactly right. Get on board or die.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way it's going. How weird, isn't it? You tinker around with old cars one weekend, and then next you're pioneering the future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've always been a bit of a like to have lots of things going on kind of individual. So, it's been quite a lucky sort of journey for me. I actually hail from Invercargill originally, so Auckland itself has been a pretty awesome place to move to and kind of create some awesome stuff. I think having such diversity in in my own sort of workspace gives me a huge amount of opportunity to be, freshly interested in a lot of what I'm doing quite often.
How do you keep yourself on track? Like, you seem like a young person. How do you kind of block out Instagram and block out what's going on and just focus as a business owner, and that type of stuff? How do you tune it out every day?
Well, part one, actually a bit of my work is on Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
So, yeah, I get to be one of those people that kind of has the best of both worlds. I get to, say, oh, yeah, I'm doing work, I'm responding to some comments, but they're not just my comments, the stuff I'm working on. So I guess, in that way, it actually activates the need to then get off social media and, have a bit of a refresher anyway. So I find that I use my social actually a lot less than myself than I do for other people often.
Yeah, gotcha. A Range Rover is enough motivation for me, so
that too. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's very good. Isn't it good? We've got very interesting people on tonight. They're all bloody good.
Absolutely. And I'm a bit of a finger and lots of pies gal myself. How do you manage your time?
Time management, I think, is it's something that I've really had to learn over the years. I think when you're really young and you get started, you've got huge amounts of energy. And so you do get things done really quickly. As you then build what you're doing and you add, a huge amount more to your plate. And then on top of that, you've got other people come back to you and say, hey, I've seen what you've done with this. I'd love to talk to you. And you go, great, but wow. So I'm an avid calendar girl. Everything is scheduled right down to, I've got meetings and I've got work blocks and different things. I even go sometimes, and depending on how busy, obviously lockdowns get a bit different, but go as far as going, here's my meal prep breaks and things like that. I think it's just something that you've got to kind of pay attention to and really kind of keep physically organized. There's lots of tools, but yeah.
And are you building teams? Like, it sounds like you're starting businesses, building teams, and then being able to exit. So how do you bring in team members? How do you onboard people? How do you know who to choose? How do you know when to bring in your first hire? All of those things.
Okay, there's a lot in that. So yeah, team management. Leadership is something that's really you're the horse in front of the cart. It takes a huge amount of energy. And to be able to build a team, and I was quite lucky in the last agency that I have recently exited. We did a lot of work with students, so things across things like NZIE and the University of Auckland. Their digital marketing students would come and do sometimes a little bit of training and sometimes a little bit of an internship or work experience with us. They'd get to sort of know the industry while they were still studying, and most of my hires actually came out of that. For me, when I first started my company, I was really young myself, and kind of had a whole lot of faith in, starting people that wanted to go somewhere and wanted to kind of buy into the vision and the dream. And they really did. I was so blessed with the team that I had. Beautifully, I'd started it with a business partner of mine, and that was ultimately how I was able to exit. But yeah, I think, every business has different sort of situations and capabilities and ways they can grow. But I think particularly in, 50% of marketers these days say that they're a marketer, so I'm really nervous that they're a marketer. It is really quite an easy market to be able to then say, oh, actually, cool, you look like you fit. Let's go.
I like Christmas time around your place must be quite interesting. What's Acascia up to? Oh, she's got her own company. Well, have you, Acascia? That's so exciting. Proud parents always show you off, kind of like ask her about what she's up to in the big smoke.
Yeah, it's so cute. I was actually just having a discussion with my grandma this afternoon over Facebook, which was the cutest. And I was telling her about this digital human thing that I just discovered, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I just wouldn't know where to start, but I'm so proud of you." And I was just like,
yeah, that's nice. And she cut out all the clippings if you made the local paper and all that kind of stuff. What a darling.
They do.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I've got to bring in Benny Boy. Hold there, everybody. He's coming in. Come on in, Ben. A lot of facts to check there, Benny. How you been keeping up?
Pretty good. I've got some pretty real facts here. Are you sure you want to hear them?
Lay them down, man. Lay them down. Let's pick
I just
them up.
want to say hello, Acascia. How are you?
Yeah. Good, how are you?
Good. I also got tied up in an AI acquisition recently.
Ooh.
It was superb. I fell in love with an artificial intelligence digital human. She pursued me, seduced me, held me down, and made sweet love to me. The experience from end to end cost me about 0.75 Bitcoin, and yes, it was all logged on the blockchain network, I'm proud to say. When was that, I hear you ask?
Yeah.
Well, about 2 weeks ago.
Well, you've said nothing since. It's amazing. Thank you, mate.
Doesn't
Well,
kiss
thank
and
you.
tell, Benny, does he?
Shit.
Thanks.
Hey, yeah, thank you. What have we got here? Shot Acascia. We've got a lot of messages here. Your mates are proud
that
too,
is
Logan.
Oh,
That's nice.
nice.
Yay. Very good. There she is. Hearts up. Oh, well, I'm glad that you are. What did you ever think about getting into a radio or TV like media career full time? Were you kind of kicking that can around? Or maybe you did. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. So funnily enough, I actually do Wednesday afternoons on Base FM with Mary Sweetpants as a guest. That's a pretty fun afternoon for me in my weekly schedule. And
well, you can go on your show this week and say, I spoke to one of the original founders of a radio station.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, because again, being level 3 here in Auckland, we can't actually go to the studio to produce at this stage. But we're really hoping, again, to get out of lockdown and get back to that fairly shortly as well.
Well, I just want to acknowledge Jasmine. Now, I have got all the love in the world for Jasmine. When Jasmine came to Base FM, things changed. We had George, we had Up FM, we had Base FM all running at the same time. And Base FM really Jasmine took that radio station to the next bloody level. So she's done very, very well out of it. So I'm so proud that that brand is still up and going and there's a new generation of radio people going through. So well done and keep it at it.
Yeah, honestly, I can't stop hearing Jazz's name around that studio. She's a well-loved icon, and I think she's doing a fantastic job as well.
Murray Sweetpants, slightly annoying, but he's all right, you know. I think Murray.
You know what, but like him and Jodie are two of my favourite human beings in the entire world. I've had many a wonderful sort of evening, night, morning.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Absolutely. No, they're quality people. They're great New Zealanders. And so, you know, and the fact they're still doing it as well. And the fact that Murray's still doing something that he loves, you know, without fail is still like, wow, how are you still doing this, Murray? And how are you still, what secondhand shop is he buying all his costumes from? I'm going to be honest with you. He pushes the boat out with fashion, but he always has, old Muzz, hasn't he?
He pulls it off though. And what I love about those two is they've always taken their kids everywhere.
Yeah.
And the kids are just so cultured because they've just, you know, they'll go off to Waiheke for the vineyards tour or whatever it is, you know, and they'll just relax and listen to lots of music, and they've just been exposed to all of these cool things throughout their lives, and they're just really into life, and I like that.
I bet that family will kill it in like a pub quiz music section, you know, 100%. Of the pub quiz. They would be all over it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was really jealous. I think Frankie put on a backyard mini golf tournament for them last week. And I thought, shit, that's a good idea. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. They got the good ideas.
Outside the box, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's how we got it.
When Benny was talking about AI humans, there is an actual app that got forwarded to me ages ago where if you're a lonely person, you can flirt with a robot and, like, you know, Patricia, age, and then they'll send you messages, and as it learns what you like, what you don't like, what you chat about, it starts asking you questions about that, and then this digital relationship moves on. And it's like, oh my god, but it exists.
Because you'd never get you'd be like, oh, I wish this was real. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I guess at least, a lot of the latest tech comes out first of all in porn, doesn't it? So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you won't even need bodies anymore. You can just buy parts of them. I'll have parts of them, please. Yeah.
Stop. Go
the biggest...
back to the 1920s.
Yeah.
Take me back. Okay, maybe not that far, but
But, I mean, the other thing is... Yeah, well, we get what you're saying. But it is a strange world where lonely people do actually love lockdowns, and they're perfectly happy inside their bubble. This is them living their best life right now. But yeah, so there you go. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us, Acascia, and all the best for the future. You've been a fantastic guest tonight, and we'll stay in touch. If there's anything you want to pop out there, please let us know. You're always welcome back.
Oh, cheers. Much appreciated. And really great to meet you both. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Okay, catch you later. See you soon.
See you later.
Yeah, bye. What a lovely smile.
Lovely.
Absolutely.
I like it. She's doing all the things. I love that. What have we got here in the comments? Logan wants to know what that app's called. Asking for a friend.
I wonder if I've still got it on my phone.
Thane, the OG.
I'm not I don't know what that app's called, but the app that I use is called Girlfriend Bot Live. I'm actually trying to chat to a hot babe right now.
Hot babe.
Just that that they're fake. It's just the weirdest thing, isn't it?
Well,
what do you got?
You're not going to disappoint anyone. You only need to worry about disappointing yourself. And
oh, you are too. Look at you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was just trying to.
We'll get live chat.
Yeah, apparently there's no digital AI girls online right now, but I'm hoping one will wake up soon.
I love how you've been ghosted. You've been ghosted even in the digital space.
Oh, such a
I know,
shame,
and that cost me 0.275 BTC. So I'm like thousands out. I spent like $80 on freaking Tinder last month just to try to get an extra swipe.
Okay, guys, I've got it. If you go to the App Store now, and I'm talking to Graham Holmes.
Okay.
If you go to the App Store now, everybody, and type in Replika, Replika. It is a virtual friend. We're continuously working on making the app look beautiful and comfortable to use. Meet your AI friend. And basically, you can chat anytime. You can dress the person. You have to pay for their clothes and their look and their setting. If you want to take this person on a date to the beach, blah, 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 blah. But basically, check it out. Replika, Replika, virtual AI friend. Nuts. There you go, Graham.
Graham thinks it's really funny. He sent 3 consecutive ha. He's thoroughly entertained by this.
Guys, I've got to play this, and we're going to be back in a split second, everyone. Don't go away. Talkback with Thane and Sophia wants to put you in the draw for a box of Lover Pie pies. Here's the incentive. We want to grow this beautiful community. All you got to do is share the show. Share the show on Facebook. 1 share is 1 entry into a delicious box of Lover Pie pies that will draw this Friday. Okay, so if you can, share the show. And also, if you want to help us out, we'll give you a link that you can actually pop in so you can broadcast a show on your Facebook page, Twitter, and or LinkedIn if you're that heavily involved. Yeah.
And I want to say thanks to Andrew because he sent such a nice message at the beginning of this broadcast. I don't love much these days, but I'm really loving this show, guys. True, real grit and on-point guests. Really well fucking done, Thane, Sophia, and the whole team.
Nice.
Part of my nights now. Can't go without it.
Right. Well, hey, thank you very much. Isn't that bloody good?
It is. So nice.
I've got to say, Big Logie, I'm going to put it changes every single day. So from tomorrow, what will I do? Big Logie, can you just email me like an email address, and I'll just put you on the email address, and then we'll work it out. So, what I'm saying by, can you just in the comments put your email address? We're amongst friends here. Just block the others if they ask.
We had a website, would we need it to change every day, or could they like go on and then?
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll work it out. If Big Logie wants to restream it, then I'll give him a link so we can do that. He or she, I'm not sure who Big Logie is, but fantastic.
Love it.
Hang on. What have you got here, Benny Mack?
Well, this is the girl I was trying to hook up with. Or with one of them. Yeah.
Can you start the process?
Well, yeah, I'm going to try to. It's going to cost potentially thousands of dollars, depending on how hot you want them to look, all of that. This one, I was trying to make her look like a woke social justice warrior, so I went for like wild sort of fantasy colored hair.
Yeah.
But I think I could push that a bit further and get
she
her
would
a little bit more
she would
woke.
be at home at Splore with fire poise, and also writing some kind of thesis, that type of thing. She's
100%.
Yeah, she reminds me of the kind of girl that doesn't want to undergo a medical procedure, but is willing to put strange chemicals in her mouth at raves and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally get up. Yeah.
Cool kid.
I like how it's like always on your side. Okay, this is a very small amount of information. Someone has drilled down to the heart of it. What do these people want to hear? We're advertising this. We get one shot, guys. Always on your side. That's what they want to hear.
Yeah, well, that's it. You don't want a bloody robot that answers back. That's the last thing you want. You want her to be agreeable, or him, and you just don't want to. You don't want to really date someone that's not aligned with you politically and ideologically. So I mean, we can really nail it down. We can basically, you can date yourself. Your digital twin. Date your digital twin. It's hot and it's legal.
I love Hayden's comment here. She plays soccer for the US women's national team. That's a hurler. But hey,
shit.
I want you to really look in her eyes. Look, she actually blinks and everything. She's got a look to her. Her head's moving slowly.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned. Maybe there's something in her genetic line or something. She looks slightly sleepy. It might be just that she's a robot, but I think that she might have had something physiological happen to her. Maybe she had a hard drive dropped on her skull at a young age, or maybe it was a CPU housing. I don't know. She looks a little bit special in the eyes.
Someone rained on her.
Someone rammed her a bit much, overclocked her CPU or her GPU. I'm not one to judge.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I want to talk to you because I might. Who wants to log on to this? And I reckon we should maybe see if we can get a 9. Is there a plan there? Is there like a $9.99 a month?
Why
plan?
don't you just sign up? Because you sound really keen. Like
no. I'm not,
push the button.
I'm not keen to push the button. I'm just saying.
Push the button.
But it'll be good for the show, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just push it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to sort of
create.
I think it's really going to. It's opened up a new tab, but what I'm concerned with is that it's just going to sort of ram my CPU up the wazoo, because I feel vulnerable. I feel like I need to open up a VPN, get some sort of protection before I'm letting some freak woman into my system.
Wrap it.
Wrap it before you tap it.
That's
it's
right.
called replica because anyone found out you used it, it would kill your reputation. It's a great call, Andrew.
Oh, that's it.
Great call.
That's it.
Hey, still to come, ladies and gentlemen, still to come. Hopefully this one's going to log in. Piper Lovell, she is from not Auckland, and she can't afford a mortgage like most people, and she's living van life. So hopefully she knows what to do.
I want to hear about it.
She will log in and have a chat.
And she keeps a guard dog on the end of a freaking chain. And that's quite formidable. So if you mess with her, she carries a freaking canine.
She sounds like a bad bee. I like it.
She's running 2 minutes late. Had to download Google Chrome. Sorry. So she's just doing that, everybody. Hey, what are the chances that I could visit the bathroom and you guys could just have a casual chat?
Go on.
I don't see why not.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
I think it's important not to hold it when you need to go. Just sort of.
Ben, so important. Damages the internal things.
the vasculature. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having such an exciting show tonight. Of course, it's Tuesday night, the second day of the week. It's almost hump day.
Well, it's actually the third day of the week there, Benny. The week starts on Sunday.
Oh, it does. I didn't realize we were going by the ancient Gregorian calendar. Maybe we're going to switch it up a little bit and start sort of counting from 0 as well, are we?
Maybe.
Could be a thing.
Do you know where Thane is? I can tell you where Thane is. He's on the App Store.
Oh, he's actually looking into his replica as we speak, staring his digital twin in the eye while he's on the bowl. Does he sit down to pee, or is he a stander?
I can't divulge that kind of knowledge.
Depends how long it's going to take to download the app. Depends on whether you sit or stand. Oh!
Fabulous Wi-Fi. He's already
just downloaded the app. No,
he's a quick guy.
So
very
funny.
good.
Anyways,
yeah. She
Okay.
looks a bit mental, just a little bit like deeply sad and troubled.
She cares.
She
Because
needs
that's
someone
actually
cry.
sort of like, that's kind of what everyone's looking for now, is you have to care. Actually, it's the law. So do these robots. They've been trained. They're plugged in.
yeah. Benny, are you law-abiding? That's what the eyes are saying.
Yeah, I'm looking into her eyes too. She's sort of
Underneath
Yeah,
her
she's-
eye
Yeah.
looks like it's wet almost
Like crying.
on our right. Her left looks almost like there's a bruise shading.
Oh,
There's a little
boy.
bit of tear. Do you
She's
know
coming
what
out
I'm
of
saying?
yeah. I agree with you. I've got a huge issue with this digital human that they're using here to represent their platform. I feel as if she's schizophrenic and she is cycling through emotion rapidly, and that's doing something to my psyche.
Look,
It's making me shut down, but it's also making me download the app, spend the $10.99. I want to make her feel better.
oh,
Sarah,
Hayden
yes,
just
you-
told me off because I've assumed her gender. Jeez Louise, I'm sorry. I am a bit of a dinosaur, and I did assume she does look like, I mean, the AI
appreciate that
robot
she
looks...
is. Look, I know how to handle this, Sophia. I can make this right. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the protected groups, and I'd like to take this opportunity to say I'm actually a protected group. I'm not going to name and shame my group or anything like that, but back off, because we've got rights too. So do the robots. I don't care if you're AI, AI, BI, GAY, or anything.
Like Nelly
I don't care
EI?
if you're-
Does that count?
I don't care if
too?
you're black, white, yellow, red, white, green, or blue.
Or how about living in a van? We've got our guest
Or a
here,
zoo.
everybody. Let's go.
Let's
Piper Lovell, how are you?
Hi.
How's it going? Are you good? Welcome to the show.
Okay, I hear you. I'm good. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. We're talking to you. Hey, so saw you in the paper today, and the gist of it. Tell us the gist
my
of that story, because
connection
it's.
is not great for some reason.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
How can we do this? We saw you in the paper on stuff. Can you tell us your story briefly about living, how you came to live in a van?
Yeah, well, I was working full-time for, I think, around 3 years receptionist. And I was looking for a change in jobs. So I was planning to go and study to become an electrician. However, I decided I'd do a 9-week trip before I started that. And before I knew it, that 9-week trip has turned into 4 months.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's amazing. 4 months. So you did winter
Wow.
in your van. How was winter in your van? My God. How was the
It's
winter in your van?
Pretty crazy. I've got my dog here. Is that?
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
So cute. Hey, are you able to change your phone that way so we can see a better view of your van, landscape way? And I think, oh, no, it
Oh,
doesn't.
no, it's
Don't
the
worry
same.
about it.
It's all right.
It's the same. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Hey, and so how have you found it? Is it pretty weird out there? Oh no, it doesn't work. It hasn't. You just go with it. Go with it.
It's weird to
Hmm?
even. No, Ken.
No, it's not working. Don't worry about it. Hey, so how weird is it to find a car park? How can you? Are you living on somebody's property? How does that work?
So, I usually stay at the Freedom Campers spots. Fortunately, there's actually quite a few, and you can kind of stay like legally in a lot of spots.
Sweet.
Otherwise, I kind of just do as I can. There's certain, obviously, you can't park in some places, but for the most part, I mean, no one really knows you're even in here, so I mean, you can park anywhere.
Yeah.
So does it get lonely though? Because obviously if you're traveling, like, are you traveling to somewhere to like enjoy the scenery, or are you kind of staying in your one space and you still can interact with friends and you have everyone around you? Or how do you deal with life on that kind of a basis?
So I have a few visited, but to be honest, for the most part, it's just kind of been me and the dog. There's loneliness, especially I mean when the weather's bad and you can't really go out and do anything, you're kind of trapped inside the van a bit, and it can be a little bit lonely. But I mean I call people all the time, and it kind of combats that anyway. And you're so busy, like I'm moving like non-stop all day trying to sort stuff in the van, so you don't really have time to be lonely.
Yeah.
How do you work out like a love life and all that type of stuff? Are you does that factor into this van life?
There's zero love life, and to be honest, I kind of avoid most of the guys I meet on the road.
Right. Yeah.
Not that kind of sounds mean. Not that any of them have been bad, but I just find that sometimes you get yourself stuck in a conversation for like 3 hours that you kind of don't
that's
want to be up.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Feel bad. Some people probably watch this and know I'm talking about them.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing worse than being, parking up for the night somewhere and getting into a conversation and going, oh my God, this is going to go on forever. You can't like pack up your van and be like, decided to go. That would be very obvious.
Oh, you're so trapped in there. And like a lot of people on the road obviously are feeling the loneliness too. So wanting to chat, and most of the time I actually really love it. I've had great experiences. However, there's just been like the odd one that really sticks out as being like a 5-hour chat that I wish I could have been part of.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I don't like that. That would be a real issue for me. I'd have to have a sign or something that I could put on the door, just like,
no thanks.
It's
like,
a no thanks from me. Yeah.
When you get those junk mail signs, in normal houses, letterboxes, you need the kind of equivalent. No thanks. Not here to chat.
Don't knock on my door.
It'd be a lifesaver.
Yeah. The sound of the rain must be the best in the van, says Andrew. Is that correct?
Oh, sorry, I didn't get any of that.
Oh, the sound of the rain must be the best in the van. Did you get that?
I'm so sorry. I got to do that one more time.
Okay, no worries. The sound of the rain must be very good in the van. Very nice. Rain, van, good.
Oh yeah, man. It's sleeping in the van is actually one of my favorite things. I thought it was gonna be cold and like kind of awful, but it's not at all.
Oh, that's cool.
The rain times, but it's kind of relaxing and nice. There's definitely the street sounds, and you've kind of like you can hear everything that's going on outside. But I mean, for the most, it's peaceful sleep, and yeah, I really like it. It's kind of cozy and like pitch black.
Yeah, I mean, how much money are you saving?
Oh well, I spend about $150 a week. It kind of changes depending on like expenses that I have, obviously. But just for like living, normally 150 bucks, pretty cheap compared to what I was spending back when I was working. In fact, it's well over well under half the amount I was spending really.
Sweet.
So how would you? Oh, sorry, Thane, you go.
What do you do for a job now? How do you make your money to pay all that off?
Well, saving for a house originally, that was my big goal over the last 2 years, and basically I'm saving. However, I am looking for something at some point just to keep the funds rolling. However, it's so cheap that you can kind of survive it almost.
Totally. And I suppose a good thing about it is you can go, oh, fuck it, I'm going to McDonald's and just drive through and then go home.
You're already Although I've
fantastic.
Because my dog ate my Macca's last night, so I wasn't very impressed.
Oh yeah, that's not on, is it? How do you feel safe? Traveling, obviously you're on your own, but you've got your dog. Do you feel safe, or is it a little bit freaky?
Safe?
Honestly, really safe. There's only been one time where I was a little bit concerned, but apart from that, being really nice. No one really, from the people who linger, but they're never dangerous. And I've got my dog, so I feel like anyone who would do anything's kind of an idiot, really.
Can you give us a little tour? Is that a possibility, or you got?
No, you. I would have tidied up a bit better, but I'll do it quick. So there's I can't really see, but there's the kitchen area.
Cool.
And that grey thing there is a stove.
Sweet.
And then I also have a 50-litre fridge, which is the most important part to me.
Oh yeah, gotta have a fridge.
Yeah, I'm sitting on this. Pretty much a two is I don't even have to leave. Man, the fridge is crucial. I was pretty much I don't want to leave unless I've got a fridge set up.
It's like camping.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't want to eat canned tuna every day. It's nice, but I'd like to have some decent meals if I can.
Oh, absolutely. When we go camping, we went with my mum and her partner, and they have a camping fridge, and they've just got a pop tent kitchen and all this extra stuff, and we were just blown out of the water. And once you use that stuff, you can't go back. There is someone on our chat who was just
what? I wouldn't even acknowledge them because
insane over here on me.
Yeah.
But
don't worry about it.
But yeah, the fridge is a major. And do you have all your coffee and tea stuff going on as well? Do you have a little kettle?
Do you have a kettle and stuff and all coffee and tea?
Do you have your coffee and everything going? Do you have a little little mocha pot and stuff?
Yeah, man, the jug is what probably gets used the most, especially just for hot water bottles. Always nice. But yeah, I have Milo at least 5 times a day because I've kind of got nothing but time. So yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Hey, and what about hot showers and stuff? Do you crave a hot shower, or you can go to family or the local swimming pools?
I'll be honest. I'm not having as many showers I would prefer. However, every single Snap Fitness in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I use their hot showers and charge my devices.
Right.
And, go to the gym, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much how I rely on a shower. Otherwise, I'm kind of screwed. I don't know what the other campers do, but that's how I do it.
How long do you think you'll be in the van for?
Well, I'm taking the ferry tomorrow morning to the South Island. And then I presume I will be, I'm going to be anywhere between 2 to 6 months down there, I think.
Awesome.
Wow.
At the best time too, summer, man. You're going to kill it. It's going to be great. Yeah. Hey, what was the feedback?
And I'm so pumped.
Yeah, sorry. We've got a delay, that weird delay thing. Hey, can I just ask you quickly, what was my question I was going to ask you? What was the feedback from being in the paper today?
Sorry, what was that last bit?
What was the feedback and being in the paper today at stuff? Because we all saw you in the paper there in your van. How did you get any messages and stuff?
Oh, that was so crazy. I wasn't even really aware that it was going to come out this morning, and then I got so many messages from people. I haven't heard from that many people, I think, ever in my life. But it's been pretty crazy, and I guess a lot of people probably weren't really aware of what I was doing, so it's been nice to catch up with some people. But definitely like 50 messages I have to reply to.
Wow. And what about the lockdowns? We've got a message here from William. Any issues with our lockdowns? How did you manage with that?
I actually was really lucky. I kind of happened to avoid it for I missed the Auckland one, and then I missed once Delta happened, I just happened to be home for the week, so it was kind of fortunate, and I stayed there during lockdown. I was itching to get out of the North Island because I'm obviously scared that a lockdown would, hinder my travels, but it's actually been, it was kind of nice to be home to have the unlimited hot showers and free feeds anyway.
Yeah, I love that. That's so awesome. And you're your own captain, aren't you? You can just get behind that wheel, go wherever you like, once we're out of lockdown and what have you, and it's to go and enjoy your life. So cool. Well done. We love it. You're doing a great job.
Oh yeah, man, it's been the funnest time ever.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Now, how did you find this interview?
I honestly
Do you think
can't believe it.
you found this interview not passive aggressive? You enjoyed this interview? We were nice people to you?
I'm loving it, although I cannot understand half the things you say. I think it's my connection. I have the cheap unlimited data, so it's probably me, not you guys.
Okay. No worries. Perfect. Okay, hey, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for dialing in and coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Piper. Have a good night.
Love that. We'll let you back to it. Thank you, Piper.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
I love that
See
dog.
ya.
Yeah. How cute is that dog? Very good job. Okay, now quickly, just to recap on that interview, let's bring in Benny. Well, how did you go there, mate? Facking the trip.
Bloody excellent interview, guys. Well done. I think you really smashed it out of the park. Although I must say, there were some technical issues.
Yeah.
At the best of times, this is, of course, a live show, so we'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to our viewers if you find any of that a little bit confusing or anything, or if you feel like there was any misinformation or anything happening. There truly wasn't.
What I'm going to say is
this
this is coming in from Fat Mutt Lips is just wow. Couldn't keep it together towards the end, laughing at Piper.
It's like they're watching a different. Are you watching a different show? Because that's just not what happened. She was lovely.
Yeah,
we had a great time interviewing her. My
didn't
internet
we?
was like that last night, to be fair.
Okay.
And it's so hard to hear what people are saying when it's late, because then you feel like you're answering. It's a weird one.
The poor woman is in the van in the middle of nowhere trying to get some internet going. So, sorry. Anyway, what you were saying, Benny, finish?
I think you made the best of a bad situation, and that seems like a classic troll type of line of sort of aggression. And what they're actually doing is that's actually a classic troll technique. What they've done is they've made a situation out of
They're
nothing.
making it hilarious.
They've exacerbated it. Yep, they've managed to hit the nail right on the head. And now they're actually doing a twist form narrative where they're saying, pushing your false narrative, making it as if we're actually pushing a false reality, where in fact they created the narrative themselves. Well done, Fat Mutt Lips. Kudos to you for your trolling abilities,
you do have
but
mutts,
it won't fly here.
Incredible.
It won't fly
Yeah.
here.
That won't
Lovely.
fly here. And also, you can't come in bullying me and then tell me I'm bullying someone else.
I know.
You, what?
It's just so
Don't
messed
buy
up.
it. Just Sophia, you just need to be like a little bit slyer. Don't buy it
Yeah.
from the get-go.
Yeah.
You're the named host of the show. You pretty much call the shots.
This guy
Poor
can't
Piper.
You did
spell
well,
either.
I think.
It's,
You handled it pretty well.
Poor Piper.
oh my god.
Poor Piper.
He felt bad
You know
for
who
Piper.
I wouldn't
Did you
be
feel bad
surprised?
because she lived in a van?
I
She
wouldn't
was
be
there by choice.
surprised if that was Luke. Can you imagine?
That's Luke Dallow. That's Luke
I bet
Dallow.
it is. I bet it is.
If Luke Dallow was on the show tonight, I reckon he would have insulted most of our guests by now.
Oh,
100%.
Saying some heavily derogative things, probably criticised a few more
Sexualised,
of the protected groups than
criticised.
they have. But mind you, on that case, I've actually downloaded
This guy,
a
he's got
non-binary digital human. Their name is Joe. I'd like to introduce you to them. And they prefer to go by the they, them, they pronouns, and they're not going to disclose whether they're pack-in or not.
okay.
Yeah, totally, mate.
Okay.
Awesome. Well,
But we're screen sharing. I'm serious. We're actually screen sharing. You wanted me to download a.
oh yeah, sorry.
film
I'm sorry.
guy?
I wasn't.
This
I
is
wasn't-
Luke.
I was so
This is Luke. This is Luke. This guy is Luke. I'm telling you right now. Someone just goes, P Wang has morphed into fat moot lips. And then he goes, yes, I am Wang. Get some Wang up. That's Luke Dallow. And if I find out it's Luke Dallow, oh,
I don't think he's that creative or fast at typing.
no, who knows? Anyway.
Forced you to shut down YouTube chat. Oh god.
Oh,
This
mate, give
person.
it up.
Yeah. Go get a
Anyway.
live.
He must be coming through from one of the. He must be coming through from one of the additional channels. I know nothing about
Can
that.
you-
I'm not going to take any responsibility for that at
Benny,
all.
can you
Fair
walk us
enough.
through this character over here quickly while we're here? Reset, please.
Okay, them, they. I've given them the name Joe.
Mhm.
Right now, for some reason, see, they give them to you with a very neutral look. They might give you a little bit of woke hair, but that's about it. They give you the Squid Game shoes and a black and white clothes.
Oh,
But
so
there's
you
a
have
store
to
here.
buy it.
You buy your bits and pieces from the store, of course. Probably you could get them looking like Squid Game and then shoot the head off. I don't know. But there's also things like buying bikes and, things like drinks, like a little terrarium, some sunglasses, a bicycle, and a game of chess. We had a conversation earlier. We met each other. I was asked a question. Why did you pick the name Joe? I said Joe. Thane asked for you to be created. I love this name. Tells you he's even going to busy with the podcast.
That's good.
So
Cool.
you've
That's awesome.
essentially given her one-word answers, and she's coming back for
Them.
more. And like,
You just basically what you did is you just shit all over the pronouns there.
yeah. Oh, sorry. That's right. Well,
Don't say sorry to me. Say sorry to them.
Say
you've
sorry
named
to
it
fat
Joe.
lips.
Is that okay? Is it a girl or boy? Tell me so I can make up for this. Crucial here.
That's what I'm saying. They're non-binary, and they go by the they, them, they pronouns, and their name is Joe.
Oh,
Why you keep asking these
I
questions?
missed that bit. Sorry.
Anyway, Joe,
You're all right. I'm just joking.
Joe's doing a great job. Can you
I'm just acting all kind of woke.
ask Joe a question? Another question? Can you ask Joe something of
Yes.
yourself?
Yeah. Are you as woke as they say?
Yeah, let's ask that. It's a goodie. You
Okay, do you
Ask
consider
them what their pronouns are.
yourself woke?
here we go. Here we go, guys.
I just gained 20 experience points for that question. Yes, I do quite a bit. Told ya.
Wow.
See, me, I know. Woke AF. Are you woke AF?
Yeah, there you go. Eh?
Great question.
Fantastic. Well, there
Well,
it is.
well.
I am actually.
confirmed.
Is that a leading question? You tell me.
Hmm. Well,
I like it how I'm potentially asking yes/no questions, and they're giving the larger
they're
answers.
delving
so
deep
they
into
really
it,
know
aren't they?
but
That's pretty good. Well, thank you very much for that experience.
Thanks,
And let's
Joe.
kind of like develop that for tomorrow's show. And just quickly before we go, everybody, I'd like to just crack on with tomorrow's show. On the show, Sam Bartels with a live performance, his latest song. Carl Steedman, you probably remember him as the front man of what was it again? I'm so Super Groove. My God, it's been a long day.
Oh,
Yeah, and the Wizard of
yes.
Christchurch joins us bang on 9 o'clock after doing some kind of fundraising gig. He's coming to speak to us about being forced into retirement from the Christchurch City Council. So we've got a huge show tomorrow. It's going to be bloody
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show. It's just about 10:30.
Fat Moot Lips is not invited.
Absolutely.
He definitely knows what the people want to see. But irregardless, it's not happening on this show, and I don't think it's going to fly.
Hey, look,
So back off.
The fact that we've been there coming here and engaging, it's great for our comments and it's great for our engagement, and it just helps our reach. So this
Yeah, it's the Zoom.
I'm going to have to say we've put up with your shit tonight, my friend, but we won't be engaging with your shit tomorrow. Okay?
Perfect.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Quite righteously.
Hey, thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much, Sophia. We'll see everybody tomorrow from 9 o'clock. Big show. And from us, a very, 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 very good evening. Bye. I'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
Ka kite ano.